Welcome to Route 9 Technologies. This is a DIY camera setup using a Raspberry Pi W from start to end in 10 easy steps. We have all the information you need. All right, let's get started. All right. To get started, you can order any Raspberry Pi Zero kit you want. I do have a full unboxing of the kit I used in this video. Please refer to the description where I have linked to my other video where I've gone through each component in the. But at a basic, you want the board, you want a cable, the camera, the memory card, and the case. So you could use anything. However, I chose to order the ones that I show on the screen, and I have the links below if you need more information. Again, no specific brand or anything in preference. Order anything you want, and here's what I used. Alright, let's start with step number 2 to download and install the image burner software. You need the software to transfer the image from your system to the card, which is nothing but the operating system that helps boot the Raspberry Pi. And this software is available. Links are in the description below, and it's a very easy to use software. And again, I'm showing this in the Mac. If you have Windows, it should be very similar, nothing different. Couple of clicks and entering the username and password, and it should all be done in a few minutes. Again, feel free to share any other useful softwares you have in the comment section below. Appreciate your feedback as always. All right, we are at step number 3 where we are going to be downloading the OS file and flashing it on the card. So first is locate the operating system for your respective card. In this case, it's a Raspberry Pi Zero W, and we have to make sure that it's the right image. Please consider donating to the project while you are here if you like the whole workings. And they also have instructions on how to write the software into your card, and they do provide you with the right image.sh file. Again, I did not use this because if you're not using the right image options, you may mess up stuff. So I did not choose to use it, but I just downloaded it. And they have options on how to update the image with the IP address and your networking information here. Again, as I said, I did not use this. I went with the GUI option just to keep it simple for the video and myself. All right, let's look at the image that we downloaded. And this image compressed file should have the Raspberry Pi image that we want to use for burning the software. And let's open up the burning software. And I did run into a couple of issues while using the software. One of the issues that I had was as I'm not using an admin login, this did not work for me directly, so I had to switch my accounts and use an admin account to actually make this work. And I do not have the recording of that, but it's exactly the same process. Here it did not do anything after entering the password. When I did log into the admin account, everything went smoothly. The flash completed, and as you can see in my next step, you will see all the files that were transferred. The card did come with an operating system, so I highly advise that you do format the card, because the other problem I did have is when I did not format the card, there were issues using the operating system. So I highly advise, if you are changing the operating system, format the card before using it. All right. We are at step number 4. This is where we create a config file to get our networking setup complete. This is required to make sure that the Wi-Fi configuration is all set at boot up time, and you do not have a need to use a networking card during the setup, all you have to do is create a config file and place it under the root directory. And while I was using the Mac editor by default was set to rich text, and I did run into some issues because of that. So if you are using a text editor, please make sure it is set to text file, and you create the same config file and the same format as shown in the video and place it in the root directory. I did jump through a couple of hoops here, but just creating the file, same format, putting in your SSID, your authentication password, and placing it in the root directory. And once the card boots up, it will pick those information up from the file and connect to your Wi-Fi. In this video, I do mention root directory sometimes. It is just put it at the highest level of the file system. Step number 5 is connecting the camera and installing the micro SD card. So make sure you're connecting the cable gently and lock it in place. There's a latch to lock on both sides on the card and the camera. We are almost there. Booting the Raspberry Pi, connect the power supply, and watch for the small green light while it's booting up. As you have already put the wireless information in your card, when the system boots up, it will try to connect your Wi-Fi network. The easiest way to get your IP address is to log into your home router, and you should see something with I in the host name, and that's your IP address. Open up a browser and type your IP address in to connect to the camera and start the configuration. Step number 7, configuring your camera settings. I hope you grabbed your IP address from the router. Just open up a browser, type your IP address in, and you should be able to access the camera. Now, it all depends on which camera you chose. In this case, I chose the 5 megapixel camera, so the resolution is going to be comparable with that. And again, I'm holding it in my hand, so it's a little shaky here. And it's upside down as well. You can always change all of these settings before you do any of the advanced settings. And when it comes to advanced settings, I did share some screenshots here. A word of caution is make sure you are setting it up as per your requirements. Play with it, figure out what makes the most sense, the timing wise, the motion, the frames, the area. There's a ton of settings you need to go play with. I'll just walk you through high basic stuff. This is the still image settings. So we have the file name, the quality, capture mode. Basically, I have set it here to capture on trigger, and you can set your preserve time and how much lifetime you need for the pictures when captured. Very similar settings with the movies as well. You could set your file name format, the movie extension, and the preserving option. Similar stuff. This is more about where you're going to store your clips that you've captured. One option is you can see the root directory data output camera 1. That's where you could store it. Or you could actually even put it on Google Drive. But this screen is more about setting the name of the camera, the device type, resolution, rotation, frame rate, and the automatic brightness. So in this screen, you will fine tune your options. So for example, how many frames you want to capture before the motion and after the motion, what's the minimum frame count, and also the mask, which area of your camera you want to capture when there's a motion, and the thresholds, the light switch detection. In this screen, you will see how to set up your email address and use a Google service, in this case Gmail, and the thing to note is you may have to lower your security settings to let an application log in, and use your test email to make sure it's working. Step number 8 is where we'll put everything into a case. In this case, you will notice I have a little bit longer of a ribbon cable there, but when you do buy the kit, you will get the small one as well. For some reason, I was unable to find it, so I ended up using the next length one. So you will have a shorter cable available with the kit. And the kit does come with the camera case option or a regular one if you're not using the camera. Just make sure you snap it tight, and that's it. And connecting the power should start your booting. Step number 9, accessing your recordings, the picture and the movies as well. So open up a browser, type in your IP address, and if you have any previous recordings, it'll show up here. If you don't, then some quick moving the image around should start recording the images. And when you click on the picture icon there, you should see a list of all your prior recordings with dates and how many pictures you have. And then if you click on a date, you will see how many pictures it has taken, and you can even browse through your pictures. And then the video button will list all the movies that have been recorded. On each of those screens, you will also notice an option to download the images. You can download it as a zip, or you can download it as a time-lapse one. The time-lapse option will take a little bit longer. You can set the frame rate that you want. Step number 10, enjoy. Congratulations on successful completion. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this video and this is helpful, please like and subscribe, and that will encourage me to put more videos for you. Thank you again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good one.